Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
All right, welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim, and our guest today is CJ Watson. So, CJ, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us where you live and what you do for a living.
My name is CJ Watson, live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Retired NBA player, 10 years, played 2 years overseas also. Children's author, entrepreneur, and have a foundation for kids.
Awesome. So, can you just tell us more about your NBA career? Because obviously, not everybody gets to play like in the NBA. It's not easy to get to the NBA. So, what was that like for you? And when did you know that you could actually play like this, like in the NBA?
I just started playing basketball when I was just a kid, with my dad and my brother in the front yard, just playing for fun and to stay out of trouble. And as I continued to get better, playing around the city, got better and better. Got a scholarship to go to college, and after that I played on the USA team, and I figured I played with a lot of first round picks, a lot of potential draft picks, and I just held my own. So that's when I kind of finally knew that I could play in the NBA and I can make this dream a reality.
Awesome. So I'm actually like originally from Chicago, and I'm a big Bulls fan. So, what was that like playing for those Bulls teams with Derrick Rose and playing for Tibbs?
It was so fun, man. It was great because I love the city of Chicago. The fan base there is like no other. They care about their sports, their food, and pretty much anything Chicago. So it was definitely fun to play for, but it was a lot of pressure trying to get that team back to championship level with the Jordan era. But it was definitely fun, and definitely that was some of my favorite years.
Awesome. So, let's talk more about right now. So you mentioned that you're an entrepreneur. So what are you working on now? And what was that pivot like to go from playing, pro sports to now being an entrepreneur?
So for me, I think I do a little bit of everything. Just kind of like my basketball kind of career game. I was never perfect or great at one thing. I was just pretty average at a lot of things. So it's kind of what I do now. Children's author. For that, I didn't really picture myself being a children's author at all. I was just sitting on the couch one day saying, how can I continue to tell my story, but also impact the next generation and kind of motivate them also. So that's kind of how I became a children's author. And then with my vending machine business, I just wanted to get more passive income. I think you can never have too many streams of passive income, and that's how I think millionaires continue to create wealth and gain wealth. And also with angel investing, I just want to continue to learn about companies. And I think founders are sort of like athletes. They have different trials and journeys up and down, but they're also trying to get to that unicorn status. And every NBA player, is trying to stay in the NBA and make the most money as they can. It's the same thing as founders.
Yeah, for sure. So in terms of your vending machine business, let's just start with that. So what does that look like for you? Like how much involvement do you have in managing it, making sure that, like the vending machines are stocked, that you have people running it for you? Like, what does that look like for your kind of typical day to day?
Typical day to day is pretty much just making sure all the vending machines are stocked and filled. So right now I stock them and fill them. My wife does all the computer stuff. So we're just a two-person team right now. Eventually we want to continue to grow and then maybe get some employees. But right now it's just us. And it's usually like week to week. We have four locations right now, so I think it's going pretty well. We're just like I said, just trying to continue to grow it and make sure everyone likes it. And with us, we don't really put a lot of junk food in there. We're all about putting healthy food in there, healthy snacks, and I think that's just the biggest thing that you see in most vending machines.
So how did you find your locations for like where to put them, and what did that process look like for you?
So the company we went through, Healthy U Bidding, they helped us find the locations. They helped us do a lot of the marketing, all of the calling and stuff like that. Just when we wanted those locations, me and my wife went to the actual locations and met the managers and saw what the vending machine could go and stuff like that. Just told them what kind of food would be stocking in there, how many times we would be coming to refill the machine and stuff like that. So it's a not too tedious process, but just going through and just making sure all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted.
But I guess like in terms of, like you mentioned healthy food, right? Because I think it's like healthy food, it also depends on like it has to be in a certain area. Because like, for example, like at least for me, like if I say like a healthy vending machine, I'm typically maybe in a gym, in a corporate office. I mean, it's like what types of places typically like are you working with?
So most of our locations are weird to say, are all in animal hospitals. They have a lot of traction, a lot of employees, 75 to 100 employees. So it's a lot of foot traffic. Most of them are open 24/7, so that's always good. You're making money when you're asleep. And then one of our locations is government city hall. So like I said, it's still pretty open. A lot of foot traffic, and I think that's what you want mostly when you're looking to put a vending machine in the location. Is a lot of foot traffic.
What does the technology look like? Does it tell you like essentially when it's about to go low in a certain item of stock, or like what does that look like for you?
Yeah, so we get an email every morning saying how much is sold, what's been sold, how much money's been sold, when something's low. So technology is pretty good. We have Google Pay, Apple Pay, put coins and cash. So I think all those areas are pretty cool. And like I said, the technology is pretty much up to date. And we can put we have a TV screen on our vending machine, so we can put different TV logos on there, our own logo on there if we wanted, or someone sponsoring the vending machine business, we can put their logo on there. So it's a whole bunch of things you can do with the vending machines, which is, this technology these days are crazy.
Like, have you had sponsors so far or not yet?
No, not yet. We funded the whole business so far. So like I said, it's going pretty well so far. Trying to get profitable. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, makes sense. So in terms of your children's books, let's talk more about that. So what made you want to write the book? And, what did that process look like in terms of actually going and writing like that book?
Yeah, the process was pretty tedious. Like I said, I never thought about being an author before. I read a lot of books, obviously, as a child and then just growing up, but I didn't have anyone I can really tap into or reach out to get the information from. So kind of just researched it on my own, but also went to one of my coaches who I knew was an author before, asked him about the process. And I met this lady named Tamika Newhouse. And I told her my idea, my stories, and she said, let's do it. And that's kind of how the process started. It took us about 6 months to do the first one. Then after that, we just kept doing the second and third one, and just released the fourth one a few months ago.
That's cool. What technology you are using, getting the attention of your customers? Like I can understand you are placing the vending machines where they're so people are reaching over there. How you are advertising?
So for advertising, mostly it's just what's word of mouth. I think that's the biggest thing. I think that's how we got another one of our locations is through word of mouth. We did a good job with the first animal hospital, and they referred us to someone else. So I think word of mouth is the biggest thing, especially with vending machines. But that never hurts to do like your Instagram or Facebook ads or SEO stuff like that.
Makes sense. And are you using AI in any aspect, in any capacity?
Not yet. I think that's probably soon to come. I gotta try to get my wife more in the AI tip. She's not really into it right now, but definitely just the way the world is going, with AI and stuff like that and technology. It's probably soon before they start getting to vending machines too.
Yeah, sure. Why not? So, off topic, I just wanted to know something about your playing. Like, can you share a memorable moment or the game that had significant on your career?
I would say the game that had the most impact on my career, I would say just in high school. I think that was the biggest thing. I think that kind of got my confidence going to be able to play to believe that I can play in the next level. Playing in AAU against a lot of guys that were, top 10, top 15 guys ranked in the country, and me be able to hold my own and just be able to go out there and play well, I think gave me a lot of confidence. And then just getting a lot of attention in the recruiting process, I think that helped me to be like, hey, you can really do this if you want to, and then take some pressure off your family by getting a college athletic scholarship.
And what's your favorite city or arena to play?
My favorite city is to play in, I would say either LA or New York. New York is like Madison Square Garden. It's like the mecca of basketball. And then just LA, I love LA. I love California. I love the beach. You love all the celebrities coming to watch you play and stuff like that. And so it's just fun to play around.
So, like, did it ever make you nervous, like when you're playing in LA or like MSG? Obviously, you have a lot of famous people. It's a lot of high pressure. And you spoke about even earlier about playing for the Bulls when they were really good. So, were you ever nervous in those types of games or situations?
I don't think it's more nervous. I think it's more excitement. Like these people are coming to watch you play. Obviously, I wasn't like a superstar on the team or whatever, but I was still, I think a pretty good player. And like I said, still did pretty well. And I just think, it's just fun to see like a Denzel Washington, someone that you watch movies about or try to reenact sometimes, and seeing him, on the on the sidelines, either cheering you on or talking trash to you because you're playing against his team. So it's definitely fun just to be in those atmospheres and just see people in a different light.
But did you ever get, I'm sure even playing like a, MSG or Staples Center or whatever it's called now, but that like ever get heckled, I'm sure, by like the opposing fans or
Yeah.
people like that.
Oh yeah, all the time. Especially when you're playing away on the road, dude, fans are brutal, man. They say whatever comes to their mind, whatever to get their team the victory. So it's all fun in the game, long as stays respectful and stuff like that. But it's definitely fun to hear them, but it's also more fun, I think, just to shut them up.
Well, we're like I mean, I don't know about nastiest, but I guess like most difficult fans, that like in any city.
Oh, the worst fans are Utah Jazz fans by far.
Oh, really?
They're the worst. If
Was that
anyone's ever played against Utah as an opposing team, the fans in Utah are brutal.
was that when you were playing for Golden State?
Yeah, mostly Golden State and mostly Golden State because I think that the year before they beat him in the playoffs also, so they have a little tension there.
You were on that team when they were the 8th seed, right? And then they beat Utah like as a 1 seed.
No, I wasn't on that team. I came the year after.
Okay, yeah, because
But
I think
I heard all the stories though.
yeah, because that year, like I mean, that was like the 1 year before Golden State really took off and like
Yeah,
kind of really surprised people.
yeah, that We Believe team was pretty crazy.
Yeah, so like when you were, going into the NBA, right? Because you weren't drafted. So what did
Yeah.
it look like for you? Because obviously now it's a lot easier. I feel like you have like two-way players, it's a lot easier. So how did you know, like, in training camp, like, hey, I'm undrafted, but I can actually sign with the team?
Just from the feedback you're getting from your agent, my feedback would tell me, they have one roster spot. We came to the decision to either go to training camp or not go to training camp. My first year out of college, didn't get drafted, so I didn't go to training camp. I went overseas because I was broke, I was poor, didn't have any money, so I wanted to, make some money. It's the most they're giving me like $100,000 to go play basketball. So that's the most money I've ever received or got offered in my life, or my parents ever seen. So I just wanted to go over and get that experience. Didn't like it at all, but I gained a lot of knowledge and experience from it. But coming back, the second time I decided just to go to training camp, and like I said, me and my agent came to the deciding factor that they had one roster spot open, and just got to go in there and try to compete for it. Didn't make it, but definitely just always just a blessing in disguise, just trying to go there and learn from it.
You were in the G League, right, for a year before you played like in the NBA, correct?
Yeah, just for 1 month.
So, okay, just for 1 month. And then like, after 1 month, you got called up to the Warriors.
Yeah.
So what was the competition like back then? Because I feel like, people always talk about, competition in the G League. And I think obviously now it's better because there's, better pay and you have two-way
Yeah.
players. So how competitive was that in those days?
I think it's honestly still the same. I think it wasn't any worse or better. I feel like guys are also fighting for, like I said, one or two positions. We had players, they weren't necessarily called two-way players back then, but they still had players or draft picks that they would send down to the D League and playing on the D League team. So it was always still competitive. Like I said, guys are hungry. Everyone wants to make it to the NBA. That's everyone's dream, and that's like the big show, and everyone wants to get there. So you got guys, 15 or 12 guys, fighting for one spot. So it's definitely competitive, and everybody wants to have their best night every night to show these scouts and presidents and GMs that they can play at the next level.
Makes sense. So obviously now the game has changed a lot. I mean, even from when you first started playing, there's like a lot more shooting. Steph Curry came into the league. So what does that look like for you over time? It's like, how would you even fare like in today's game, for example?
I mean, I think I would fare well. I think, like I said, I wasn't a player that did one thing great. I did everything kind of decent or average. I shot the three ball pretty well. I can get to the basket. My speed was pretty average. Played defense. So I think I would fare pretty well. It's just now with my old age, I wouldn't fare pretty well because the way they move up and down the court.
Right.
But it's definitely fun to watch. And I think the game is always evolving, which is a great thing for the game of basketball.
What is your favorite team right now, or like what team are you really watching as the season is about to start?
So for this season, I'm going to watch a lot. Well, I have a podcast that I do with the Bulls, so I have to watch them all the time. But other than them, I would say the Lakers, which is like a childhood favorite team, and then also the Suns, because I think they have a lot of firepower that they got this year with Bradley Beal and adding KD, just to see how all those guys mesh together would be pretty cool. And one of my old coaches is there, so I want to see how he does also with that team.
In terms of the Bulls, I mean, obviously, I'm sure you're probably in the same boat as me. It can be frustrating, especially over like the last couple years and the whole
Yeah.
Lonzo situation. So it's like, what do you think is the answer? Because I think it's like, at least for me, the way I see it is that they're sort of like in this mid tier of like if they maybe will be like an 8-9 seed at best. Like it's kind of
Yeah.
hard. They're not bad enough to get like a really high pick, but they're not good enough to really compete. So it's like, I'm not sure like what you think or like what you think is the answer for them to really get better in the next few years.
I think it's just consistency. I think if the young guys can develop and turn into maybe, not superstar players, but just, great players, I think Zach LaVine obviously, has to step up. Then what are you going to do with DeMar DeRozan? He's getting older, so how do you replace that? And then also with Vooch too. So and then playing more through Vooch. I think Vooch is a great big man, one of the best big men who can pass, who can shoot. Defense isn't really there that much, but still he does so much on the offensive end that can help you win games.
Do you think if they can compete in the East this year, or I mean, are you also thinking kind of 8-9 seed? Like, where do you see them finishing this year?
Yeah, I see them in the hopefully, in the playoff position spot. Maybe in the playing tournament. I don't think me and my podcast co-host was talking about the other day. Vegas predicted them to get 37 wins, so that's not too great. That's definitely not maybe in the playoffs, but definitely in the playoff tournament. So we'll see, how they do this year.
Yeah, I think last year they won like 40 or 41 games or something like
Yeah.
that. So like in terms of, I mean, just like back to your investments. So I guess like what else like are you investing in right now? Like you mentioned the vending machine in the book. Like are you investing in technology companies or real estate? Like what else like are you investing now that your career is over?
So it's mostly late stage companies. I did an investment in Instacart, Turo. So I did like 32 investments over the last couple of years. My most recent one is a pickleball team. I'm pretty high on pickleball right now. I've played it a couple of times, and I love the sport. So I think pickleball is going to continue to grow, hopefully, and hopefully that turns out to be a good investment too.
Like, have you looked into maybe even like I don't know if you have already, or like even starting like your own brand of apparel? I know like many former athletes kind of get into like this e-commerce niche.
Not really, not yet. Definitely something maybe to look in just for my foundation as far as like, merch and stuff like that, but haven't done it so far, but definitely maybe something in the future.
So can you just talk more about your foundation? Like what exactly is it all about? Like what is the main mission?
So our mission is to help underserved kids here in Las Vegas. Me as an underserved kid, being from the inner city here in Las Vegas, I didn't get to have a lot of resources to maybe be successful. So we just want to give kids the resources to do that. We put on a free basketball camp each year in the summertime. We also have an out of school program in the first and third Saturday of every month. Kids get taught a free meal. A chef comes and teach them about a free meal. A gym instructor comes and teaches them about healthy movements for the body. And also we have a mental health coach to teach them about mental health. And also we have a Black History essay contest in February. So during the NBA, or when I played in the NBA and I did this Black History essay contest, we would fly the kids to whatever city I would be in, free trip, free hotel, free limo ride to the gym, and also get honored at halftime. But now since I'm retired, we fly them to Washington D.C. So I just think it's a great way for kids just to, like I said, get out there and see the world, but also know that there's so many other possibilities out there to be successful other than just being an athlete.
Awesome. So like how do you get the word out about your foundation? Like do you have like a lot of guys who used to play with like come out for this camp, or what does that look like for you?
Yeah, we partner with a lot of companies. Partner with the NBA, PA, NBA, WBA. Also a lot of local companies here, but we have people come out during for the basketball camp, especially since it's during summer league and stuff like that. So, like I said, we just want to give kids a great time. We're not trying to make NBA superstars or anything. Just want them to come out and have fun for 3 days and learn some basketball skills.
So in terms of like your NBA career, like how much do you think that's helped you today in the business world? In terms of structure, or even like I'm not sure there's like certain things that you've learned from playing that you're kind of attributing now to your business career.
I think I learned a lot. Like I said, I get to meet some of the highest business professionals in the world, I feel like. And then you're working for one of the greatest businesses, I feel like, in the world also, as the NBA, as a whole brand. And you get to see how they run their ship, and kind of take what you've learned from them and kind of put it into your own business and put your own little 2 cents on it. So I definitely think it's it's definitely pretty cool. I think it's one of the best jobs in the world, I feel like.
But do you think that you made like some good connections, even like owners or executives who like you played with, or guys who you played with that you maybe even like you're working today like in your business career?
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. I think that's the best part of it, just the networking ability, because everyone wants to meet an NBA athlete or a professional athlete, and just the people that you get to meet, like you said, billionaires, millionaires, CEOs of all these Fortune 500 companies. They're all coming to your games, and you get to talk with them, shake their hands, and never know who you meet. And I think, like I said, that's just the best part of being a professional athlete.
Awesome. So if we're going to chat again in 1 year from now, where do you see things going for your vending machine business?
I see it maybe growing from 4 machines to maybe like 8, and maybe having a couple employees, and also, like I said, and just kind of just being another avenue for me to make passive income, and maybe kind of telling other people about it so they can get started in their own vending machine business if that's what they want to do.
That's awesome, man. That's very exciting, and we're rooting for you. So, if somebody watching this wanted to reach out to you, do you mind sharing your website or social media handles? Just best way to get in contact with you?
Yeah, my website for my books is cjpens.com, PENS. My Instagram is quietstorm_32. That's also my Twitter. My vending machine business website is mlwhealthyvending.com.
Awesome. Well, CJ, thank you so much for your time today. It was a pleasure, and yeah, thanks again.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Very nice.
All right,
Thank
bye.
you.
Good day.
Thanks, you too.
Bye.